6th chapter of St. John's Gospel, we have the famous miracle of our Lord that you all know, the miracle of the loaves and fishes. After our Lord, the important person in the story is the little peasant boy who comes with his lunch. We presume he was a peasant boy because he had a peasant's lunch. And he glides in and out of the Gospel to remind us of the importance of one person. We don't know for sure how many people were there that day. The Gospel tells us there were 5,000 men. I presume their wives came too, and some of their children. But he was just a little boy, and as a result of this day's outing, he discovered he was important. So are we. If only we could know this and remember this. We are important to our God. He reminds us of the uniqueness of the individual. He was there among all the people, but he had something no one else had. He had lunch, and that lunch saved the day. He was unique. Sometimes we seem to be lost in the crowd. We think we are just another person, but each one of us is unique. We have a saying in the Western world that when God created some people, he threw away the mold. When God created Florence Nightingale or Helen Keller, he threw away the mold, we say. Or when he created Abraham Lincoln or Napoleon, he threw away the mold. When he created you, whoever you are listening to me now, he threw away the mold. You are not a carbon copy. You are an original. And this peasant boy reminds us of the usefulness of the individual. Remember, the young growing boy would have been hungry, and he could have said, "This is my lunch, and I need it." But he gave it to St. Andrew. He must have had a good mother who taught him to give and to share. Or perhaps he went to the synagogue with his father, and the rabbi told them that everything we have, God has given to us. You who are listening to me, where did you get your keenness of mind that has made you this wonderful doctor, this very successful lawyer? Where did you get that strength of body that enables you to get up out of bed each morning and work hard all day? Where did you get your wealth? Did you put the oil in the rocks, or the fertility in the soil, or the fish in the sea? Do you remember Joyce Kilmer? Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. With all the people who have made a fortune in the lumber business, I wonder how many of them remember that. There is a famous chapter in the book of Genesis, chapter 22, which tells us about Abraham and his son Isaac. Abraham was an old man. He was 100 years old, and he wanted a son, and God gave him Isaac. And Isaac was the joy of his life. Now God suddenly said to him, "I want you to sacrifice your son, your only son, to me." And Abraham went out into the desert and was about to sacrifice his only son when the angel of God stopped him. And then God said, "Because you were willing to do this, I swear I will bless you abundantly." My dear friend, is there some person in your life who brings you happiness and peace and serenity and love. Remember, that person is God's gift to you in love. If God were to ask you to give that gift back, are you willing? This is a challenge we all have to face as we stand by the grave of a loved one who is called back to God. My dear friends, everything we have is God's gift to us. I remember reading about a district nurse who was very generous in her work, and the doctor said, "I'm going to ask for a raise for you. God knows you deserve it." And she said, smilingly, "If God knows, that's all that matters, because I'm doing it all for him." And I met a lady once who told me she had discovered the secret of happiness and radiant living. She said, "It is giving things away, tithing. Whenever I make extra money," she said, "I immediately give a tenth to the church or to charity, and I have such peace and serenity that I think heaven has begun." Well, my dear friends, we keep trying, and there is the prayer of the famous St. Ignatius, the founder of the Jesuits, who said to God, "O Lord, I give you my memory, my understanding, my will. I give them all back to you who gave them to me. Do with them as you will. In return, all I ask you is that you give me your grace and your love. With these I am rich enough and ask for nothing more." God bless you.